Hi, I'm Donald with Steam Bright Supply, and today I wanted to talk about these inline heaters that you commonly see carpet cleaners if they want to have more water molecule vibration or increase the heat of the water that comes out of their machine. For their carpet cleaning or upholstery cleaning, they will buy an inline heater. And I kind of wanted to show a little bit some of the parts that are under the hood, and also if it's not working, how to fix it. So here's one I picked. This is a Mighty 4800 watt, 120 volt unit. It has 4 switches on it. Each one runs on 10 amps of power. It does have 2 power cords that you have to plug in on separate circuit breakers, and has a built-in phase locator on the top of the unit. When these lights light up, that means that one heating element is turned on and is lit, and if the light turns off, it's reached its 200 degrees and it will temporarily turn off till you start using the water again. But if you were to open this up, what you're going to find is basically a set of heating chambers. This particular model has 4 heating rods in it, so you have 1 heating rod for each switch. And if I were to remove the thermostats off the end cap and slide this out, this is what it looks like. These are 7 inches long by 1/2 inch diameter, and they're available in different wattages from 600 watts, 875 watts, and 1,000 watts each. The wire that comes out of it is a silicone dipped wire, and it's crimped with a nylon solderless connector. Now, the reason why I mentioned that this is made out of nylon is this is not something that if you ever needed to replace, don't go to the automotive store or the hardware store and just think, well, I'll just buy some at Home Depot or Lowe's. Well, that's typically not okay, because the ones that you'll see at the auto parts store commonly are dipped in vinyl, and the dipped in vinyl ones, the polyvinyl chloride dipped ones, melt at 270 degrees. These are nylon and they melt at 470 degrees. So you need the nylon ones to use household current. And they're going to have a little bit more of a translucent blue, red, or yellow hue to them. To test the rod, if you pulled it out and you want to say, hey, is this actually working? You can take a multimeter, and on your ohm setting, it should complete the current with the ohms setting on, and it should not short to the case. So if I put my meter from here to here, it should not short through. From here to here, it should not short through. But from here to here, it should allow current to pass through. Now, in the event that these get old and explode, they'll actually swell. If there's something wrong with them, they may be difficult to pull out. So like if I had this in here, on the opposing side, you're going to see a little hole. That's actually for you to stick a punch in that hole to help slide that out. Now, what's on the end cap here are little thermostats. Now, these are normally closed circuit thermostats. This one is set to sense the temperature here on the bottom at 190 degrees. Usually it takes a dab of heat sink grease, and that is actually put on here and bolted down, and it's just sensing the temperature of the outer casing. So these thermostats do not sense the temperature of the water, it's actually sensing the temperature of the case. And so the way the water goes in, typically on a lot of the models, they'll go in on the side where the thermostat is and then leave on the opposing side. So like in this case, the water's going to come in here closest to the thermostats, and then it's going to leave on the opposing side, go back into the closest to the thermostats. That way, if it's reached 190 degrees on the outside of the case, it can turn off or turn back on again. So if you set the wand down and quit cleaning for a while, you're going to find that that temperature is going to go up probably to 210 degrees on the inside, which would be 190 on the outside, and then it'll turn off. But once you start using the water, it's going to turn back on again. Now to test these thermostats with your meter, again, you can just simply put it on an ohms meter, and it should allow current to pass through anytime it's below 190 degrees. You can also clip your meter to these terminals, and just with a blow dryer or heat gun, you can put some heat on the back side of this, and it should close open the circuit. But these are normally closed, and then the circuit breaks or opens on the temperature rise. Now some of these units, if you leave them in the truck in the wintertime and it does freeze, it will ruin them. So I brought a frozen one for you to look what it does to it. If you look at this is bowed a little bit here on the outside. These are pressure tested at 1000 psi before they turn them into heaters. They're designed to be used at 500, so you're not supposed to do tile and grout cleaning with these, just carpet and upholstery cleaning only. And if you freeze these, the water will exert about 10,000 psi as it freezes and will bow this out. And you can see that's what happened to this model. So some of the models have 2 heating rods in it, and they can run on separate circuits or they could run on the same circuit. So the way Mighty happened to wire this one is they run 2 switches on one power cord and the other 2 on the other power cord. On some of the heaters, you'll see they'll have, like in this one, has the 190 degree automatic reset thermostat, and then they have these little white ones here that have little buttons on them. And these button style ones are typically set where once the temperature reaches 275 to even closer to some of them are 300 degrees, that little button pops up and it does not auto reset. You have to manually push that button in with your finger and you'll actually feel it click. The only reason why this thing would ever pop up is if this first one broke. So it's kind of as a safety fail device that when this one, if it ever got stuck in the closed position and was allowing you to over roast your water, this one will stop it from continuing to work and will require that, hey, I can't get it to come on, so what's the problem? So a lot of times it's certainly safe to do is to replace it with all automation. So if you're replacing this style, we actually think that they perform better if you put automated ones on both sides of it and remove the safety. That way either one could turn the electricity off, but they both have to turn the electricity on. This is wrapped, it was called closed cell sponge rubber. And closed cell sponge rubber actually can handle quite a bit of heat. We've actually tested them at over 350 degrees and it doesn't seem to affect it at all. So that's fine. And what's wrapped with this is just this black duct tape. So this could be silver duct tape, just doesn't look as cool. So you're going to see a lot of the factories wrap these in black duct tape. Anyway, I guess that's it for now. Thanks for watching.